episode of Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico is brought to you by Baby Loves Tacos in its 2 locations in the Pittsburgh area. The main locale over in Bloomfield and their newer location in Millville, right over the 40th Street Bridge. Zach, Kat, Kaz, John, Ben, and the rest of those groovy cats serve up the best Mexican-style food this side of the Mississippi River. Whether it be their huge burritos, tasty bowls, or the finest tacos around, Baby Loves Tacos will fill you up and make you smile. So when in Pittsburgh, do as the Yinzers do and head over to Baby Loves Tacos and tell them Twisted Rico sent you. Baby Loves Tacos, where everybody eats. This week on this special YouTube episode of Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico, we will be joined by Jill Chili Kurtz as we go old school and return to the New Alliance Podcast Hub. But first, let's hear a tune. This is a good one. This is the outstanding cover version of the Subhumans by Cage Teat, Animal, on Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico. Welcome to Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico. I'm your host, Steve Ricardo. That was 6 minutes and 56 seconds of Animal by Cage Teeth. An epic cover of the Subhumans song done in a punkified blues way that might be even better than the original. I think that the singer on that recording might even agree with that. Let's welcome Jill Chili Kurtz back to the show. And also, we're back with Dorchester's own Herb Morsiglio.
Ow!
on the engineering board. While the dynamic duo has returned to the Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico podcast. How you doing, Chili?
I'm doing well. How are you, Steve?
Good. You look really good in your disguise.
I mean, it's really me, I swear. Can you see my big smile?
It's big in a misfit sort of way. So I want to talk about that song that we just played because I usually don't play songs that long. I did play The Neighborhood's Nancy, but we put it at the end of the show because it was like 5 minutes long. But I think people probably started listening to that and dancing and grooving to it. So in many ways, Animal is like a tribute to some of the greatest Boston-based musicians that have passed on. It was recorded by the late Andrew Mazzoni at High and Dry Studio, who not only ran the studio, but also the label also ran Morphine Studio, where you recorded. The late Alan Devine, a.k.a. The Dark Prince, plays guitar on that track. And, of course, we have Paul Myers on drums. Bo Berenger, I got to get Bo on the show.
Hi, Bo.
On bass.
Bo? I miss Bo.
The great Dana Cawley on saxophone. And, of course, Chili Kurtz on lead vocals and blues harmonica. What a lineup. That's all I got to say. What do you remember, Chili, about recording that song and actually the album in general, which also featured Juliana Hatfield, Jimmy Ryan, and another late great Asa Brebner, whose guitars hang on our wall in here. So what do you remember? Because I know
Besides Alan's meltdown?
Besides Alan's meltdown. Mr. Divine, don't take it personally. I know you're up there listening.
I love you, Alan. Rest in peace. And Andrew, I mean, I think he enjoyed that meltdown more than I did. But when we recorded that record, we did it live. And that was like song number 13 or something.
It was the last song on the record.
I was just hammering it. No, we got to do one more. And we got to the one more, and then we were not going to be able to do one more. We did get Asa in there to finish up some of the tracks. But yeah, Alan had an adorable little meltdown at the end of that session.
It's funny you would remember that. I think can everyone see this,
exciting.
The cover of the album?
I mean, besides all the amazing people that I felt so honored and lucky to have come and play on that record, it just was a great experience. And live seemed to be the only way to capture the spirit of the band. We used to try and break it down, drums, bass, and do all
you and Dana were like doing that dueling harmonica saxophone thing live?
Actually, no, because I did overdub the harp solo in the end. I mean, I played it through. I can't even remember that well, but I'm pretty sure that I played that solo a couple of times, and then we just picked one because each time I played it completely different.
Yeah, it was great. This is the CD once again.
I'm pretty proud.
What
I'm
kind
proud
of car
of that
is that?
CD. That is a '65 Barracuda Commando.
You don't have it anymore, though, do you?
Sadly, I don't. It was a number 1, maybe 2 car, and I did not have a proper garage or driveway, and I was literally ruining that car by driving it around the city, little rocks hitting it, and I was turning it into a number 3 car. So
you can ruin any car in the city.
This guy had rebuilt this car from scratch, some 50s Chevy or something, and then his garage caught on fire and it burned up, and it was such a hot fire that the actual convertible melted into the seats. So he wanted a car that was already there, and my car was already there. He had a driveway. I felt it was a good home, and he wasn't going to part it out, so that's who got it. I want another one, though.
Yeah, that's
I
a beauty.
dream of buying another one.
I didn't take this photo, but I did take some photos of you.
think Sean took those
Yeah,
photos
you took his
at the
photo.
last
ahead of-
second.
you picked his photo instead of mine, but I
Well,
forgive
no,
you.
you know what happened is that retard, that guy,
One of my least
that I
favorite
made a
words.
big mistake letting into the band. I dated him, and really he just wanted to be in the band. He didn't want to date me. And then we broke up, and I allowed him to be the guitar player in the band. I said, just as long as you don't flake on me, I don't care about, I can look past the fact that you dumped me and stuff, and we can
I
we
can't
can
believe a
do
guy
this.
dumped you. That doesn't sound right.
I
to me.
know. I was way too much woman for him. He couldn't hack it. I was trying to make him leave his small little town, and he just didn't. He's still there, you know.
Yeah,
he couldn't do it. But anyway, what he did was he got into the picture. He promised me he wouldn't flake, and 2 weeks later, his girlfriend didn't want him to play in the band with me anymore, and he quit. So rather than put his ugly ass face on the cover of the CD, which was the whole band, great picture, great photo shoot that you did, I had to go out because it was due the next day and just take a picture. So that's the reason I'm the only one on the CD
Are we
cover.
talking about who?
We're talking about Dutch.
Oh, him.
David Dutchnowski, loser. No, he's a nice guy, but he was a loser for the way he
really
quit.
hard.
He let some girl scare him into quitting the band. I mean, he wanted to do it so bad, and then he wussed out.
But that guy had really hard shoes to fill when he became
Well,
your
yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah.
I know who your previous boyfriend was. I know him well.
Yeah, he did not fill those shoes at all. But
Oh, thank you.
He had his body. He had his body going for him. It was definitely a lust.
Of course,
It
I
was
didn't have
all
the body.
about the lust. I just lusted. He had a hot little body, and he was cute, but he wasn't,
I don't know why I
the
even
brightest
went there.
bulb on the tree.
I don't even know why I even went there.
I don't know either. I don't know why I went there.
So I mean,
It's been a long time since I thought
we've
of that.
talked about this record before on this show and how great of an album it is. And you always say you didn't get a lot of traction out of it, but I think you did because MTV really was all over this thing and featured your songs in several episodes of Made.
Yeah, that's true, but I just felt locally they dropped the ball because I don't really feel like it was sent out to press. It was not heard. It wasn't sent out properly. So I feel like it didn't get to do what it should have done. It's a great record, and I won't say that about any of my records, but that one.
High and Dry was a strange label. They had a really good reputation.
It was an honor to be on there.
Yeah, because Morphine,
Well, yeah.
I remember when I went over there in the studio, and then all these people were walking in from, it was really cool, man.
All the star-studded scene
it
over
really
there.
was.
I mean,
so,
really.
Okay, I'm going to segue on here because one of the reasons I wanted to get you on the show today is because we spend a lot of time talking about small business owners and the struggles that they've been going through because of the pandemic. And Chili is a small business owner. You have a dog walking business. So I wanted to ask you what it's been like for you dealing with the pandemic the last 9 months. How has it affected your business?
Well, it has majorly affected it. I'll say in the beginning, I haven't taken a vacation in years, so it was almost a relief to get some rest. Now I'm over it. I mean, I lost so many customers. I mean, they're still there for me, but they're working from home. If they ever go back to work, I will be back with them. But it's been difficult it was difficult for a few months. It seems to be filling in now and bouncing back. Which is nice because I need to work. I was going crazy in my house, just crazy being stuck in the house, just like everybody else. Yeah, it was torture, absolute torture. But things seem to be recovering a little, except things are getting so bad. I hope it won't happen again and put me back again.
I don't have a good feeling about it.
I don't either. But the unemployment was helpful too. Because normally self-employed people don't get unemployment, so that
Gig workers, is that the category that you fell
I'm
under?
under self-employed. Actually, there's a section, and I check the self-employed.
Herb, you hot over there? You got a hot mic?
Yep.
So you had to work during the pandemic?
Yeah, I had to work like a crap load.
Yeah, because you're involved in the mass elections.
City of Boston Selections Department.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I've been nonstop for like almost 2 months there.
Yeah, that's why I've been recording.
14-hour days.
What's your job title? What do you do exactly over there?
Outside. Wait, it's like
He was on TV a few
outside.
times.
operations
Herb?
assistant, something like I test the equipment, I deliver equipment.
How many times were you on television?
Cool.
I television, like I was on like 3 channels. I also made ESPN.
No way.
Yeah. They when Fenway opened up to let people vote there.
I didn't see you. I wish I had. That would have cracked me up.
It was
like,
hilarious.
Hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, they got me when I was like unloading the trucks and all this stuff. I made a whole bunch of
Awesome.
news. Yeah, it was really cool.
You deserve the media attention. That's all I
You're
have to
kind
say.
of lucky, though, in a way, to have all that extra work. Don't you
I am.
think?
Yeah. I am, but I'm kind of glad that I can rest now.
Yeah,
'cause
you're exhausted.
It was a lot.
And when Herb wasn't around, I started recording down the hall with Nick C. And
You
Herb
replaced me.
called me one day and he said,
Heartbreaking.
"Are you breaking up with me?"
Oh.
Well, I obviously haven't broken up with him because I'm sitting here. And one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to start a second podcast with Chili. That's why she's here. But I didn't have it together. That's why we're doing this Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico.
But maybe
episode.
that'll happen still.
Yeah, because I want to do something kind of like Chili and Rico off the rails,
Rico show.
Or Rico and Chili. No, I'm just kidding.
What they
It'll be
should have
Chili and
done
Rico.
is they should have taped us when we were dating, because that would have been quite the reality show.
You don't even want. I can't even
Oh,
believe
it
you
would have been
going
so
there.
entertaining to watch us self-destruct.
Yeah, because I was such a normal person back then.
Oh, and me too.
Trying to manage someone and go out with them at the same time.
Well, they're just
I just
completely fucking up.
Would not recommend that to anyone.
We did good for a while.
Oh yeah, we had a good run, but it wasn't really you and I, because we were focused on what had to be done, but we had the weirdest bunch of characters come and go from Caged Heat.
Just
Caged
trying
Heat
to
was
bring
like
us down. Yeah.
One time we tried to remember everyone that was in the band, and I never even remembered that Dutch was in the band.
Because he was in the band for like 2 weeks.
Because there were so many. I mean, so many different people played in Caged
Did he
Heat.
even do a gig?
I never saw him do a gig
I don't
with
think he
Caged Heat.
even got to do a gig.
Sean McLaughlin actually played some gigs with
Shawnee.
Caged Heat too, right?
Miss that guy. Yeah, he
So
did.
can you remember all your drummers at least?
Well, gosh.
Let me try. Chris Negrete.
The original.
Scott Hansen. I hate to even say that guy's name.
Ugh.
Matt Graber.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Paul
right.
Myers.
Yeah.
Sean McLaughlin.
Yeah,
Johnny
but he was LWs. He wasn't ever Caged Heat.
Didn't he do some Caged Heat shows? No, never.
I don't think so.
Okay, sorry,
He
Sean.
might have filled in once.
R.I.P. Sean. Johnny Strangeman.
Johnny Strange.
And
It's so funny because I was thinking of
Jesse Mayer.
Jesse Mayer. How could we forget him?
What was the drummer of Roma's name? I can't remember.
Oh, not Devin, not
Roma drummer.
right.
I think we got them all.
But that's funny because I was first going to start with the Asherah drummers, and I went through 7 drummers in Asherah.
Chili's gone through more drummers than Spinal Tap has.
Unfortunately,
Not
I
all
have.
Not all of them have had the same fate as
Yeah,
the
no, they keep
Spinal
blowing up,
Tap
right?
drummers.
I keep blowing up my drummers.
You definitely have gone through some drum. We got back on.
I
Caged
even
Heat.
remember the very first drummer for Asherah that we found just playing out on the street in Provincetown. He was like 7 feet tall. He was the drummer on that record, the original one with me swimming on the front.
I saw Asherah with the Strange Men in Provincetown.
Yep,
Remember that?
Yeah.
Went out there. That was
That was
great.
when I first met Johnny,
That
and
was-
I sat in with those guys.
That was my first time in Provincetown. I'll never forget you saying, "We got to be up at 2 a.m." I'm like, "For what?" And then we go outside and there's a parade of people walking down
It
the
was Bar
street.
Rush.
It was-
Anybody who knows P-Town knows Bar Rush in P-Town.
It was
It's a
unbelievable.
glorious parade.
It was. I love Provincetown, man. That was like one. I love that play. I haven't been
I
back
love
there
it,
since,
too.
unfortunately.
We should go because I miss that place. I don't think it's the same. There's no more affordable housing there, so
There's no more affordable housing
it's
anywhere in
lost all
Massachusetts.
like its personality. Yeah, there's still the whole fun gay scene, but the art scene is faltered and the local scene. You kind of need that too.
Yeah, I would love to. I would live in Provincetown if I had the opportunity to live there.
I was very happy to live there for 6 summers.
Wow.
It's
Getting back to what
fantastic.
we were talking about, I wanted to ask you if you had any predictions for what the future holds for small businesses,
Oh,
and what do you
goodness.
think is going to happen?
Well, I hope people will recover. I'm not particularly optimistic at this point. I mean, I don't want to start talking politics because that's not going to go in a very good direction.
Well, I think all of us in this room agree on
what
we
Trump's
think
a
about
complete
politics.
moron. I mean,
Yes.
he's not making it easy for Biden to take
He's an
over. So
idiot.
who knows what's going to happen. I pray for the small businesses, and
Me too.
I think some can make it if they can do the online thing. I think older people that aren't as hip to that could falter. I worry more about the restaurants, though, than I do about the small businesses.
They kind of screwed this up, and Europe has it right, and we're going there now, so we might as well. Europe has all the schools open and all the restaurants and everything closed. We're closing all the schools, and we have the restaurants open.
Good point.
I mean,
Good point.
Am I missing something here? What's going on?
They're
man?
trying to open the schools up. It's all new. Nobody knows. I mean, the problem is it said every state do it differently. There's no federal leader. There needs to
I
be
don't
a
know.
leader.
Even with Biden, I'm not sure that's going to change because people are like so divided now. It's like ridiculous. I mean, our families are divided. I know we've talked about this. So all right.
Enough.
So this
of
is. I got
that.
some fun stuff for you. Okay.
Fun sounds better.
This week I got wind of a real interesting conversation in which people were asking, who do you think is better, Bob Dylan or Neil Young? So I wanted to get your take on this, but first, do you remember us having a debate many moons ago about who was a better guitarist, Jimmy Page or
course.
Brian May? You said Brian May, right? No, Miss Led Zeppelin.
Adorable.
Miss Led
I
Zeppelin.
know it's hard to accept how wrong you've always been. But Jimmy Page is clearly the superior field player.
Do you think Jimmy Page is better than Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton?
Apples and oranges. No, I think they're all amazing in their own right.
Because I'm going to
He
confess
just
something
moves
right
me.
now.
Like, he touches my heart. He gives me that feeling inside.
You
Brian
forgive
May
him?
doesn't really do that for me, but he's amazing.
Yeah, you forgive Jimmy Page for what he did early in his career, stealing all those songs because he definitely paid everyone
I
back.
don't necessarily forgive him, but I love all the songs he did.
Well, I have grown to become more of a Zeppelin fan now than I ever was.
about time.
I could listen to like Zeppelin 3, and some of those records like over and over again. Tangerine's like literally one of my favorite songs. I mean, I love it. So, I followed the Dylan versus Neil Young thing for a while, and I'm just curious. I know how I feel about it. And I have the same birthday as Bob Dylan, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know
May
that.
24th.
I know your birthday. I just didn't know that was Bob Dylan's
But
birthday.
believe it or not, I'll tell you first that I actually take Neil Young over Bob Dylan.
Well, so do I. But
You do?
but I just think they're different. I mean, Bob Dylan, he's prolific. He's had all these great songs he's a songwriter, and so is Neil Young, but I like Neil Young's songs better, but I wouldn't say he's better than Bob Dylan.
So if someone told you could only listen to one of them,
Oh my God, Neil Young.
Yeah.
It's not even, I don't even have to think about it.
but I
I was
mean,
never a big Bob Dylan fan.
songs like
But he's awesome, don't
Tangled
get me
Up in
wrong.
Blue, Shelter from the
I mean,
Storm.
he's got awesome songs. I like when other people do his songs. He's a great songwriter, but Neil Young is just Neil
I
Young.
didn't get to see Dylan until the first time I saw him was in 1994, believe it or not. It was at Woodstock 94, and I watched him for 2 hours, and I didn't even know what song he was playing the whole time. I'm serious. I couldn't understand. Every once in a while it would be, everybody must get stoned, and I'm like, oh, that's the song he's playing.
I actually liked him, and no one will agree with me, but there was a minute, I think it was the 80s, could have been the 90s, where he had an electric band.
Oh,
and
no,
he
he
had this
started
like
that early
song,
on.
but he had this song on MTV. I can't, it slips my mind what it was right now, but I just loved that song more than I've ever loved any song he did. It just spoke to me. Like,
Yeah,
I
well,
liked that.
Dylan's
But this was
great.
like not like the electric that he did back in the day. This was like, he just had this one moment during the MTV moment where he had this electric band, and it was,
He had Charlie
I really
Sexton
liked it.
playing guitar with him for years, which is mind-blowing to
That
me.
is mind-blowing.
But he always had, always could get really good musicians. I love
Of course.
in the 60s when he went electric and he had the band backing him up. And they made a couple records
I
together.
love the
That was
bands.
fantastic.
I
But
freaking love the band.
I saw Neil Young many, many times. I can't even remember how many times I've seen him. And I love so many of his records,
best
I
show
mean-
ever, Neil Young. Tim Katz called like 20 people. I think I was like 21 on his list to give away tickets to the Neil Young show at the Orpheum, where he
How
had,
did Tim Katz get 20
he had
tickets?
he's called like 20 people.
Looking
Nobody
for
wanted the tickets. He had 2
What?
tickets. Finally, he got to me, and I was like, "Are you kidding? Yes, I want those
At
tickets."
the Orpheum?
And it was
Wow.
Neil Young, and he had like 5 pianos set up on the stage.
Solo gig.
And and a whole bunch of guitars and like all these different instruments, and he just went around and played each different instrument, and it was just the best, one of the best shows I've ever seen, hands down. I seen him live electric, that was great, but nothing touches that solo show when he had all those instruments on stage with him. It was just it was amazing.
Trying to think of the best Neil Young show I saw, and I'd have to say it was at the LA Sports Arena, and he had Booker T and the MGs as his band, and the opening band was Social Distortion, who I love. The middle band was Stone Temple Pilots.
Wow.
And then Neil Young with Booker T
That's
and
different.
the MGs.
That's
It
a
was
good show.
Fantastic.
That's a really good show.
And I've seen him with Crazy Horse. That's always the best because he ends up breaking every string and like going completely ballistic. And those guys are a really good band, Crazy Horse.
Yeah,
and I
of
saw him
course.
solo too.
Yeah.
So I've seen, and then I saw him with, well, I'd say I saw him with Crazy Horse several times. So, okay, so we agree on that. I wasn't going to go there, but Beatles or the Stones?
Stones.
I knew you would say the Stones.
I mean, it's like the
You used
Beatles
to
are
cover
the
a Stones
best.
song.
I've covered the Beatles too.
That's right, you did.
That
When-
awesome song, that was Jay's idea. I was just thanking him for that the other day. He's got great taste in covers.
You covered a song too with Lee when Lee was in the
Oh
band.
my God! Oh
You
yeah.
guys did a Beatles song.
Well,
She said.
Yes.
She said.
yes. I forgot about
The
that.
Stones song that you covered that's on your solo No Moleste
Oh,
CD.
what was it again? Damn it!
We're both brain dead. We're not going to remember
I am
that.
completely
But-
brain This is really sad.
So since we're on this is a good one. You brought up Tim Katz. You put the idea in my head. Scissor fight or road saw?
Please, you really have to ask.
You played with scissor fight, but you
Scissor
never played
fight.
with road saw,
Scissor
did
fight.
you?
You can't even put those two in the same sentence.
Wow, she
Oh my
loves
God.
controversy, man. Chili likes controversy.
No, I don't. I just am being
Have you seen
honest.
them with their new singer? Scissor fight.
I screamed on their record, their new record, with the new singer, so I saw him in that setting,
Oh, yeah,
but I
you're on
haven't
their new
seen them
record.
live. I
Right.
am on their new record, not playing harmonica. Singing, screaming. I
You
don't
have
know.
played harmonica on a scissor fight.
Right,
record,
but
though,
it was
too.
this time it wasn't to play harmonica.
You
which
never
was
played with
different.
road saw?
I never played with Rosa.
Because you
never
probably-
sat in with them, which I could have, but they never asked.
You know those guys
Oh,
really
of
well,
course.
though. Like we both do. But you knew them longer than... Well,
I've
actually, it's not...
known Tim Katz is one of the first people I knew in this town. When I first came to town, I took pictures, photographs. I was a senior in college, and I did my senior show on the Boston rock bands, and it was Seika.
Seika.
Seika was
And then
one of
Strip
the
Mines.
bands that was in my show. Actually, it was Billy. I had a great picture of Billy,
Billy
O'Malley
O'Malley.
with his chain. He was wearing a chain for a guitar strap. And
Stu was in
there
that
was.
band.
I did Green Magnet School for that show. There was
Oh, Chris
Seika.
Pearson.
There was Slaughter
Is-
Shack, Bullet LaVolta.
Wow.
Um,
Boston-
what's a Royal Pimps? She had
Boy.
a great ass. I had a great ass
She had a
picture of her
great
because
ass.
she used to wear the little
I want the
G-string on
great ass
stage. On
picture.
stage, she wore
Who
a
is?
G-string.
I don't know that band.
What? You don't know with Rafe,
I wasn't living here.
the Royal
during that
Pimps?
time. I was not.
Chick had a
living here.
great voice. It was
I was in
Rafe who
California.
played harmonica on the Extreme
But I want to see
record.
that girl's ass, though.
On the Extreme record, Rafe played harmonica.
Oh, yeah,
on
okay.
that record. You knew Rafe, right?
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
a
yeah,
guitar
yeah.
player.
I still want to see the girl's ass, though.
Well, I've got that picture. Rafe was
Okay.
also in the show that had a good picture
Herb
of
wants to
him.
see the girl's ass, too, right,
And
Herb?
I can't think of what other bands that were in that, but that was already a whole bunch of cool bands.
Well, you know, I know you shot a Bullet LaVolta cover.
Yes.
Which I loved Bullet LaVolta.
My favorite band to take pictures of.
They were
Oh,
great. I saw
man.
them. I saw them in L.A. and I
Kurt
saw
was
them
just
in Boston.
so fun to take pictures of.
Yeah, Bullet LaVolta. For a while, they were the best band I thought in Boston.
Great band.
They were really
Great
good. The Gift.
bands.
When they put the Gift out,
Yep.
they were like smoking.
I like their Detroit Rock City cover.
Yep. Yeah, I saw them at the Rumble too, when it was at the Paradise. I think I was a judge that night, and I voted for Bullet LaVolta.
Really?
Yes,
You were a
I
judge
did.
at the Rumble?
I was
Holy
many times when I worked for
wow.
Enigma
That's
and
cool. That's a trip.
my years at Enigma and Metal Blade, and yeah, they always Albert O would ask me to be the judge, to be a judge, and I knew Carter Allen too. I knew all those guys. We won't. Well, there was. We're not going to talk about
Let's
him.
not go
We're
there.
not talking about one of their DJs because we have.
Please.
We don't want to talk about him. David Bowie versus Lou Reed.
Bowie.
You know what though? I've become very fonder of Lou Reed as time goes on. In the same way, I became fonder of Led Zeppelin.
I mean, I get that. Lou Reed, he's amazing. I love Lou Reed. It's just that, I've spent more time.
Do you remember the film
Bowie.
Almost Famous when the
Yes.
kid goes to Lester Bangs? But Lou Reed's just trying to be Bowie. I like when he was just trying to be Lou. And then Bangs goes, well, if Lou's doing Bowie and Bowie's doing Lou, then Lou's still doing Lou. And I'm like, what? I think I screwed that up. I don't think I said it right.
I get what you're trying to say.
But Lou
though.
Reed,
Lou Reed is obviously before Bowie is kind of. Yeah.
Well, Velvet Underground. Well, David Jones, though, had a
He was
record out.
Pretty old. Yeah,
That was David Bowie before
he was
David
definitely
Bowie.
like sooner than you might think. But
We need Wikipedia for that one, but I don't have it in front of
I
me.
do,
but it doesn't matter because they both started pretty. Lou definitely. The Velvet Underground was definitely earlier, but
I think so.
I love the picture where they're kissing.
see.
Did
You
you ever
sent
see
me
the
a
picture where
text.
Lou and David Bowie are kissing each
No,
other? And
I
Mick
did
Jagger
not
sitting
see
in the
that,
middle of
but
them.
this
That's a good one.
Sounds like my kind of picture.
Yeah, Lou Reed was one hell of a kinky
I'd
dude.
like to jump into that picture.
Yeah, I bet you would. There was a lot of bisexuality going on there, which I have no problem with, by the way, and I don't think anyone does really. Well,
Of course not.
true. Some
Not in the
people do.
21st century.
Okay, we're gonna do another. I don't know why I'm doing these. It's just they're fun. New York City versus Boston. Wow, that was a pregnant pause. While you're pausing, I'm going to do a commercial for 1369 Coffee Shop, Inman Square, where I got this iced tea with a lot of lemon. I was actually recognized in line today, and they have a flyer for the podcast in their window, which makes me happy.
A good thing.
I know you don't
gotta
feel.
ask for extra lemon. I feel that they are not what they used to be.
I knew she was going to say that, but that 1369 is better than the one in Central Square, Cambridge. I think.
Well, maybe, but that one used to be the best place.
Well, they had
and
Sugar
they just
Dish.
Don't have the cool
Yeah,
people
they had
there anymore.
Margaret from Mr. Airplane Man. They had
Yeah,
Sugar Dish. She was
Johnny.
a big burlesque star. Johnny Strange Man. I remember going there like literally every single morning for an iced tea.
Yes.
And I would go to the S&S Deli next
for
door.
your egg sandwich.
That's right.
With lettuce and
That's what I always
mayonnaise.
did. Yeah, wow, you remember that. Yeah, most people think I'm insane. Lettuce
I
and
don't.
mayonnaise.
I like it. It's good.
I'm a little. I said this on the
New
air.
York, by the way.
New York. It's okay, even though we're in Boston. You could say that. Steve think about that?
I mean, we're not even in Boston. We're in Cambridge.
Well, yeah, like Mark Sandman used to say, who the hell needs to go to Boston if you live in Cambridge?
Exactly.
I never go to Boston either.
How about Cambridge versus New York is a better question.
How about Somerville versus New York? Because I'm a big Somerville guy
New
myself.
York,
But, you know, I lived on 10th Street in between 1st and 2nd in the late 80s when I started working for Roadrunner.
To where Arena used to live.
Yeah,
She was on 2nd Ave right at 7th.
Nothing was better than New York in the 80s, I don't think.
I know. New York is a
You know,
great
now
place.
it's gotten ridiculous. But you know what my friend Merrill Lee, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, told me? You can get apartments down there. You going to take your mask off, too?
Nope.
You
gotta go visit
we're
the
social
family.
distanced.
Yeah, but I gotta visit the family this week. I don't
Please
wanna
don't
take
get
any
me
chances.
paranoid that I'm going to catch something. Everyone else has a mask on here but me.
It's not you. It's what was here before you.
I do have. Yeah, we just sanitized the whole joint when we walked in here.
You sprayed a couple of places. It's nothing personal.
Believe me,
I'm
I am
just
very.
over-the-top
I'm a
paranoid.
germaphobe, so you're making me paranoid now.
Sorry.
But what the hell was I talking about? Oh, when I lived in New York City back then, it was the coolest place ever. But Merrill Lee told me that you can get 1-bedroom apartments down in New York City for $14.50.
Wow, because of the whole
rents have gone down because
I
people
know that things have gotten.
left.
Yeah, everybody's bailing out.
The thought crossed my mind.
My sister-in-law's real worried that their place has lost value, but I know it's going to come back.
I'd like to go to New York City, but I wouldn't be able to do New York City the way I used to do New York City. You know, you can't. I can't stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning anymore.
Yeah,
and
you'd
party.
be surprised how you could adapt.
Maybe you could adapt to it. You're more of a New Yorker. Well, you are a New Yorker, duh. You're a New Yorker, so you know. I'm fine with living in Mass.
Home. Yeah, that's
I'm
home.
fine with Mass.
I love
now.
Massachusetts. I do, but New York still feels like home, even though I think I've been here longer.
Because I lived so long in California, Southern Cal always feels partly like home to me, you know, because in my 20s and 30s, I was there most of the time.
Yeah.
And I
don't think of you as like a Californian, but...
Well, when I was there, you know, I was like really hardcore label job. After, you know, it was always
I
like...
wish I knew you then.
Because all I ever did was like, you know, go to the office early, stay out late, do a few other things to keep me going. You know, the music business, man.
Did you just sniff by accident? Or
No, I didn't sniff by accident. I had my moments back then. I don't do that anymore. I gave that up a while ago, but you know,
that stuff doesn't even exist anymore.
No comment.
Chemicals.
It doesn't. It doesn't exist in my world. Okay.
It doesn't exist in our world, in any world. It's all poison and chemicals.
We've been all over the place here, Chili.
We sure have.
And I'm gonna have to wrap it up with
Animal. Did we talk about Animal?
We did. We did, but if you want to talk
like
about
a
this CD,
to me taking care of the animals.
If you want to talk about this CD
I
some
highly
more,
recommend. Here, let me see that for a second. I'm very proud of On the Slide.
You should be proud of that whole CD.
I'm very proud of the CD. I think Juliana Hatfield sounds beautiful on it, and Dana's amazing. And also Jimmy Ryan.
Asa.
You got to check out On the Sly because that
you and
Animal
Juliana
are definitely some of my finer songs. And Jennifer, this song, this CD has an Out Of. I love this CD.
Yes, I miss her. I miss
CD.
Jennifer.
You
can't have my copy.
I have a couple of copies. If anybody wants a copy,
reference.
if you can find me, I
No,
have a
Herb,
copy
you can't
for
have my copy, Herb.
I have a copy for you, Herb, but I'll have to bring it from home.
There you go. This
I
is
do
another.
have one. I still have some left. I have it for the few people that if anyone
It's
wants
another
one,
reason for you and
get in
Herb
touch
to like
with
get
Steve
together.
and I'll give you guys CDs. Yes, I'll give you.
Herb's
a CD,
awfully
Herb.
quiet.
Well, I'm sorry. I've never been to New York.
You don't.
You haven't?
What? You've never been to New York?
Not as an adult now.
You must go.
Well, you should go to the Bronx, man. You'd feel being a
Why
Puerto
should
Rican.
he go to the Bronx?
Because he's Puerto Rican.
Oh,
you would feel very at home
that's
there.
ridiculous.
Isn't that where Alexandria?
Well, you should go to Puerto Rico while you're at it.
Okay, yeah, of course you're going to make fun of me. It's fine. I just think
This
that
just sounded crazy. You're Puerto Rican. You should go to the Bronx. That's hilarious.
busted. I just think I like the Bronx.
You'll fit right in the Bronx. They'll kill you down in the Bronx. And
You're not
me
going to
too.
kill Herb in the Bronx. Don't be starting trouble now, Kelly. Always start trouble on our way out the door.
I'm a
Herb.
little troublemaker. I can't
Yes,
help
you
it.
are.
I got a little mean streak
I was
in me,
thinking
but
about
mostly
AOC.
I'm a big heart.
AOC. I thought Herb and AOC would get along great. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. What's AOC?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh.
Did I say it
no,
right?
you didn't say that.
I did say that. I like her. Do you know she went to BU, Chili?
No, I didn't
She
know
did.
that.
She went to BU, and there's a video on YouTube of her dancing with a bunch of BU people.
Oh, I saw that video.
It's
Yeah, she
really
was a little
cool.
hottie.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure. She still
Was?
is a hottie, but yeah,
Was?
she was adorable in college. She's a hottie. She
Maybe I'm
is a
trying to-
legit, beautiful
Maybe I
woman.
thought that
She's
Herb
got
and
it all.
AOC could, like, you know.
Well, I'm sure he
hook
wouldn't
up.
mind that for sure. Like, who would? But hey, I think that I can't think of an Italian politician, so I can't. I don't have no.
You don't want to
comeback.
think of any Italian politicians because, it's...
Oh, I think you should go hang out with Giuliani.
That's what I thought too.
I knew at some point I would become the brunt of the jokes around here. It was only a matter
Oh,
of
you're
time.
so sensitive.
Yes,
Stop.
I am.
Put it on me.
You
I can
sensitive
take it.
man. Don't
well,
make me
what
cry.
Jewish
Don't make
person
me
can you
cry
think
on my
of?
podcast.
Oh, I'm not trying to make
There'll
you
never
cry.
be a Chili and Rico podcast if you make me cry.
I thought that was my role, was to tease you on the Chili Rico podcast.
That's your role in life,
We're like Sonny
which I
and
don't
Cher.
mind. I don't mind. I got you, babe.
I got you, babe.
I don't mind you teasing me.
Ding.
Could
It
you-
all comes from love, because I love you so much.
Thank you. I love you too.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we, move on here? I know you'll be back on the show again.
I will be
so.
happy to be
This
back.
is your third
I
time.
need to start playing music again, but
Yeah.
times are tough. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday, even if they can't see their family.
I would love to just one night all of a sudden see Chili playing live on Facebook or
Wow.
Instagram.
That'd be cool.
Do it. Everyone else is doing it.
You're right. You're right.
I think you can pull it off
I
easily.
think so.
You could.
That
You
would
have
be
so
fun.
many tunes.
You know what I think? I want to get Jay, and he can play from his place. I can play from
Jay
my place.
Fortin.
Yeah.
We're talking about former Cage Thief
Maybe
guitarist,
he'll play some guitar
scissor
with
fight
me,
guitarist.
and him and I could do like a half-hour show.
There's an unreleased
Revisit.
4-song demo of a band with you and Jay in it. What was the name of that
Oh my
band? Do you
God,
remember?
we never had a name, but I would
Because-
love to hear that.
Excuse me. That was really
Interesting.
awesome.
And that girl was playing drum. No, was she drummer or bass player?
I don't remember, but you sang on it, and Jay played guitar, and I,
I
don't
need
know who
to
else
hear
played
that.
on
Do
it.
you have that?
I do have a copy of that
I need to
somewhere.
hear that.
But I bet you our friend Alvin Long right down the hallway has a copy of that.
I would like to hear that.
Because it was recorded by Andrew Schneider.
No, we didn't record. We just like
There's a
recorded in his
4-song demo.
basement. What?
I have a 4-song demo. I thought it was recorded at New Alliance. I'm
Are
pretty
you sure it's not just us playing
Are
in
you
his
sure that you
basement?
weren't in one of your phases where you don't remember where you were?
Well, that's possible, but
Got her back.
that's
Got her back.
possible. But I'm
Got
just
her back.
trying to think. Like, I didn't think we actually recorded a demo. I need to hear that. I know we didn't
it's
record
really
a demo.
I think
It
you
must
did.
be in his
There's
basement.
certain things that I remember, okay, and I save, and I know I have a 4-song demo of you guys recording.
I just got a text. I found this woman's license, and I tracked her down, and she just.
That's good. Everyone in my audience wants to know about that, so I'm glad you
I'm
told
sorry.
us. It's fine. All right, so you know what? We're gonna move on here, Chili, and we're gonna let Herb put a song on. I recently worked with Spaz Productions on the release of the Jimmy D'Angelo Picture Frame CD, and the response has been incredible. So we're going to play a song from that record right now. This one's called Me and My Car by Jimmy D'Angelo.
travel near or travel far. Doesn't matter where we are, me and my car. Racing in the street. When I'm cruising by, you can feel the heat. You know I'm a star when I'm driving my car. I love the circular motion, the road beneath my wheels. The highway is my ocean. You don't know how good it feels when I'm driving my car. I love the circular motion, the road beneath my wheels. The highway is my ocean. You don't know how good it feels. I love to drive my car. Travel near or travel far. Doesn't matter where we are, me and my car. You know I'm a star when I'm driving my car. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter where we are, me and my car. Yeah, me and my car.
That was the late, great Jimmy D'Angelo, Me and My Car, from the Picture Frame CD. We set up a Bandcamp page with Jimmy's songs on it, so please go check him out. It's really good stuff. He recorded in 1990, late 98, early 99 with David Minahan over at Capertown Sound in the old New Alliance building at 1312 Boylston Street near the Fenway. It's really important that we continue to support the mom and pops and independent shops out there like Baby Loves Tacos, who we mentioned, and like Walking the Dog, which is Chili's mom and pop business. We also, there's a bunch of places that I constantly talk about that really need our support, like JLS Design in Leicester, Moonbeam Cafe in Oakmont, Hynena, Spectacles Eyewear in Boston, the Dark Horse Pub right here in Somerville, Ana's Taqueria, which is all over Boston, one of the best Mexican food places you could ever eat at, the Record Archive in Rochester, New York, and of course 1369 Coffee Shop, which I'm drinking one of their iced teas right now. These fine establishments need us now more than ever as we make our way through these difficult times. So whether it be takeout food, ordering merch, or buying your favorite metal band's newest release, or having your dog walked, please keep these small businesses in mind. Before we go, I want to thank our engineer, Dorchester's own Herb Morsiglio.
Ooh, the best.
Yeah, twice.
Yay,
Yes, he's the
Herb.
best. And also all the patrons whose monthly contributions keep the Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico podcast going. Colleen, Kevin, Ellie, Maria, Chris W., Heather, Susan, Matt, Dave, Brian, Benjamin Lee, Chad, Christopher, Kim, Heather, Chris P., and Kelly. Thank you all for supporting the podcast. If you're interested in supporting this podcast, just go to patreon.com/Twisted Rico. And for only $1 a month, you'll be one of my patrons. And I'll love you forever. Please contact me at twistedrico@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at twistedrico or on Twitter at blowingsmokebs. There's also a Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico Facebook page. And you can find some of these shows, including this one, on YouTube. Thanks again, Chili.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
you coming down.
Thank you.
Thanks, Herb.
It's always a pleasure.
This is Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico. I'm your host, Steve Ricardo. Till the next time we say goodbye, keep the rock and roll alive, and we love you, Busy Phillips. Peace and out.